ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Maya
श्रीर स्वस्थ खीन सामन सिमरंत नानक नानक राम दामोदर माधव 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 आनंद गुणी निदान गुणी निदान आनंद गुणी निदान गुरु गरीब निवास गरीब निवास गरीब निवास। सारग महला पंजवा धुप दे कर चौथा एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद मोहन कर आवो करो जो दरिया 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 मान करो अभिमान बोला मान करो अभिमान बोला भूल चूक तेरी प्रिया चिड़िया भूल चूक तेरी प्रिया चिड़िया मोहन कर आवो करो जो दरिया मोहन कर आवो आवो करो जो दरिया मोहन कर आवो निकट सुनो अर पैखो नाही 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 भरम परम दुख परिया भरम परम दुख परिया होए कृपाल गुर लाहे परदा होए कृपाल गुर लाहे परदा मिला लाल मन हरिया मिला जय बिसरे स्वामी, एक निमख जय बिसरे स्वामी, जानो कोट दिनस लख बरिया, जानो कोट दिनस लख बरिया, मोहन करे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन करे आवो करो जो दरिया, मान करो मान बोलो, मान करो अब मान बोलो, भूल चूक तेरी प्रिय चिड़िया, भूल चूक तेरी प्रिय चिड़िया, मोहन करे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन करे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन करे आवो। साध संगत की पीर जो पाई, साध संगत की पीर जो पाई, साध संगत की पीर जो पाई, तो नानक हर संग मेरिया, नानक हर संग मेरिया, साध संगत की पीर जो पाई, साध संगत की पीर जो पाई, नानक हर संग मेरिया, नानक हर संग मेरिया, मोहन करे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन करे आवो करो जो दरिया, मान करो अब मान बोलो, मान करो अब मान बोलो, भूल चूक तेरी प्रिय चिड़िया, भूल चूक तेरी प्रिय चिड़िया, मोहन घरे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन घरे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन घरे आवो करो जो दरिया, मोहन घरे आवो, मोहन कर आवो करहो जो दरिया। My Malik, my great Lord, please come home. You have left this home in my hirda, in my heart, in my soul. This is where your home is, Malik. And as a result of my own misdeeds, misgivings, miscomings, you have left it. मान करो अबे माने बोलो, भूल चूक तेरी प्रियाचरिया. Why did the Malik leave this home? In the next line, Guruji explained, मान करो, I act in pride, अबे माने बोलो. I am mistaken, I am wrong. भूल चूक तेरी प्रियाचरिया. I have made many mistakes, committed many sins, but at the end of the day, भूल चूक तेरी प्रियाचरिया. I am still your servant, I am still your maiden. निकट सुनो अर पेखो नाही, परम परम dukh bhariya. I hear that you are close. Nikt suno, I am told that you are very close. Ar pekho nahi, yet I cannot see you. Pekho nahi, I can't see you. Param dukh bhariya. Param means to live in anxiety and doubt, dubda. Param dukh bhariya. And living in this doubt where continually part of me says that you are near me, and the other part is trying to look for you, but I can't see you. Param dukh bhariya. My life, my mind is full of pain. It pains me. This is a dubda that I live in. Hoye kirpal gur lahe pardo, milo lal man hariya. Hoye kirpal, do kirpa, be benevolent upon me. Gur lahe pardo, the parda. Parda is a veil. And our mind, almost every single one of our minds has some kind of veil over it. Hoye kirpal gur lahe pardo. Lahe means to take off. Take this parda off. Remove this doubt. And the parda that I'm referring to is the parda of dubida. Dubida means duality. I believe in God and I don't believe in God. Like many people say, if there's a God, why doesn't he come and present himself to me? If there is a God, why can I not see him? They ask, what proof is there of God's existence? There is no proof. There is an absence of proof, but an absence of proof does not mean is not proof of absence. That does not mean that God doesn't exist. Why should God come in front of your eyes, out of the blue, and show himself to you? What have you done to deserve that? Once God comes to you and he shows himself to you, and then a month later you'll start doubting yourself again. You will start saying, that must have been a dream. I saw God in a dream. You will start saying that that was a trick of nature. God will present himself in many different ways to you. There are signs all around you, and you have to start recognizing them. Hoye kirpal gur lahe pardo, milo lal man hariya. When I meet God, when I see God that time, mera man hariya ho jayega. My mind will become fulfilled. Ek nimak je bisre swami jano kot dinis lak bariya. If for one moment, ek nimak. How long is a nimak? This is a particular time frame that Guruji have referred to. How long is it? A nimak is the time it takes you to blink. That is one nimak. Ek nimak je bisre swami jano kot dinis lak bariya. It feels like kot dinis, many days. Kot dinis lak bariya. Lak means 100,000. Lak vare, 100,000 years. That's what it feels like to those people. Jinane Rab dekhya hai. Not to all of us. Doesn't feel like that to me. Doesn't feel like that to you. It's those people. Jinane Rab nu pashanya. To them, if God is out of their mind for one nimak, smallest. This is the smallest period of time referred to in the Guru Granth Sahib is a nimak. The Guru Granth Sahib refers to vare, din, hafte, mahine, refers to all these time frames, but the shortest time frame referred to in the Guru Granth Sahib is a nimak. It's the shortest time frame, which is less than a second. It's a minute part of a second, the time it takes a person to blink. And jinane Rabnu Pashanya, those people who have God inside their heart, who recognize God all around them, for them, if they miss God, if for one nimak they're not thinking of God, it feels to them like an eternity. Sad sangat ki pihir jo pai, to nanak har sang miriya. And then in the last line, Guru Arjan Dev Maharaj, our fifth master, says, he demonstrates to us, he gives us an example of how important the Sangat is. Sad Sangat ki peer jo pai. Hey Malik, put me into the peer. Peer means, you know, when you have been to the Gurdwara and there is so much Sangat there, or you've attended an event and there are so many people there, it is absolutely crowded. Guruji are saying, hey Malik, put me into the peer of the Sangat, right in the middle of this crowd of Sangat. Sad Sangat ki peer jo pai, to nanak har sang miriya. Miriya means to meet someone. It's another word for meeting someone, miriya. To nanak har sang miriya. And in the middle of that peer, that is how I will meet God. And those of you who are asking, what are these signs of God that this guy is referring to? That is one of them. When you are in the Sangat, when you are in positive Sangat, and the way that positive Sangat can change you, can change your attitude, can change your way of thinking, the way that positive Sangat can influence you in many positive ways, that is a sign of God. You can assume that God is there. God is in that Sangat. This week, Pyari Sad Sangat, earlier this week on this channel, my Veers, my brothers, presented a show which was referring to these complaints that had been made to Ofcom. I'm not going to go into the detail of the complaints. I'm not going to go into the detail of what was said, who said it, what Ofcom said. But what it did get me thinking, I started to think about this philosophically. Hey Malik, oh my Lord, what is the nature of our community? How do people think? How do they react? And what are the lessons we can learn from all around us? There is a Shabd by Bhai Gurdas, one of our great scholars. This guy was a great scholar. You should read his Shabds. He wrote Vara, he wrote Kabit Savaiye. And when you read them, they are deeply philosophical. I have read many philosophers. With great interest, I have read Bertrand Russell, one of the greatest philosophers, arguably, of the 20th century. With great interest, I have listened to many philosophers, many of our own Sikh, Gyanis, Granthis, Kathakars, who talk about Sikhi and talk about Dharam and talk about religion in great philosophical depth. And I say to you that if you read Bhai Gurdas, this great scholar of the 15th and the 16th century, there is not much even written up till this day that is as deep as what Bhai Gurdas has written. In one of his Shabds, Bhai Gurdas says, Suraj chariye luk jaan ullu and kand jag mahi. When the Suraj comes up, when the sun comes up, at the end of a long night, the owl has been sitting there, perched on a tree, hunting for food, and it is the king of that forest. The lions have gone to sleep, they can't see in the dark. The tigers have gone to sleep, the snakes have gone. But the ullu, the owl, reigns supreme. It can see in the dark. It is very quiet. And in the night it ruled, but when the Suraj comes up, the sun which is going to give roshani to the whole world, the ullu goes and hides. It cannot withstand the light, the rays of light that are coming from the Suraj. Bukke singh udyan mahe jambak mirg na khoje pahi. When the Singh, the lion, comes into the forest and he roars in the jungle, the jackals, the hyenas, the dogs, all the scavenger, four-legged animals, they all hide because this is the king of the jungle. They cannot withstand the power, the aggression, the might of the lion. Charya chand akas te vich kuthali lukke nahi, pankhi jete ban bikhe dithe baaj na thor rahi. The baaj is the eagle. When the eagle leaves the highest point of the tree, all the pankhi, all the small birds, they all go and hide because the mightiest bird has spread its wings. Chor jar haram khor deho charya ko tisse nahi, jinke hriday gyan hoye lak agyani suddh karahi. This is a very interesting line by Gurdas. Remember, I told you he is a great scholar, and a lot of his varas start in this kind of fashion. It's a very interesting way of writing. He gives many examples first, and then he gets to the point in the last line of the Shabd. Most of his vara are like this. He has written the life story of Guru Nanak Dev in great depth in his vara. If you want to know what Guru Nanak Dev Ji did, read the Vara of Bhai Gurdas. And in this line, Bhai Sahib Ji say ke jinke hriday gyan hoye, lakh agyani suddh karahi. Jinke hirde, in whoever's heart and mind there is gyan, there is that knowledge. Lakh agyani suddh karahi. There might be 100,000 people sitting in the audience. Jere agyan ne, those people who have no knowledge, who do not have spiritual knowledge. Lakh agyani suddh karahi. That gyani, he can correct all of them. Saaryan nu soch sakda hai. Sad sangat ke darsane kal kales sab bins binahi. And now Bhai Sahib Ji are coming to the point. In this last line, Sad sangat ke darsane kal kales sab bins binahi. Sad sangat da darsan karke, by just doing darshan of the sadhuan, the sangat. Sadhus, as I have said to you before, are those honest people. The honest people, they do not have to be wearing a chola or a parna or have a white dari or the star. A sadhu is someone who lives their life with honest principles in their heart. They might be working in a factory. They might have given up everything and they might be living in a gurdwara or in a dera. Guruji say that both of them are sadhu. Sad naam nirmal jaake karm. If you want to know who a sadhu is, don't ask me, ask the Guru Granth Sahib. The Guru Granth Sahib says that sad naam nirmal jaake karm is that person jede karm, whose deeds are nirmal, they are pure. There might be many sadhus around us, we just haven't recognized them. Sad sangat ke darsane, when we lay our eyes on these people, kal kales sab bin se binahi. All the kales in our lives, all the kal jug in our lives, sab bin se binahi, it all goes. And then Bhai Gurdas summarizes the whole Shabad, and this is the pattern in all his Vara. This is a pattern that applies in all his Vara. He starts with many examples. Then he summarizes it in the last line. He gets to the point in the last line. Then in the last line of the Var, he summarizes his feelings. Sad sangat vitton bal jahi. Main balehare janda haan of that sad sangat. Gurmukho pyari sad sangat. In this Shabd, Bhai Gurdas began by saying that when the Suraj comes out, when something as powerful as a Suraj comes out, the owls go and hide. When somebody in our community, in our dharma, in our sangat does something positive, some of us have a tendency, a habit, to slander them, to find mistakes, to find their shortcomings. And when the Suraj came out, the owls went and hid away. And this is the tendency that we have. Once a friend told me a Sakhi, it was a humorous one, but I'll share it with you. And he said that once a Singh went into heaven, he arrived at the doors of heaven, and there was one particular gate, and the Muslim Veer were all lined up outside it, and there was someone checking them out. Are you such and such person? Yes, I am. Aajo, come in. Then he carried on walking, and he saw another gate, and the Hindu Bra was standing outside it. They were all lined up, very orderly. And there was a man standing there saying, are you such and such person? Yes, I am. Come in, you can come through. Carried on walking, and he didn't see the Sikh gate. Then he asked someone, Sikhan da gate kitthe hai? Sikhan da darwaja kitthe hai? Then this man told him, it's over there. He went there, and he said, but there's no one standing here. Does this mean that the gates of heaven are closed to the Sikhs? And the man said, no, it doesn't. And he said, well, why are there no Sikhs standing here? He Sikhs are worthy of Sachkhand just as much as any dharma. And the man said to him, the problem we have, Bhai Sahib, is that whenever a Sikh who is worthy of Sachkhand comes to these gates, 10 Sikhs come and grab him and they pull him back. And this is our adat. Whenever someone in our community, whether they are a sadhu, whether they are a pracharak, whether they are a ragi, whether they are a sevadar, when they do something good, there's one person doing their jai jaikar and their praise, and there are 10 people pulling him back. And this has become an adat. Bhagt Kabir, one of the great saints of the Bani, he has shown us how to react to this kind of slandering and this kind of negative publicity. Baba Kabir says, Nindo, Nindo, Moko, Log Nindo. Oh Loko, everyone, please do my nindya. I want you to slander me. Ninda jan ko khari pyari. Why? Because I value it. Menu pyari lagdi hai. Ninda baap, ninda mehtari. Ninda hoye ta bekunt jaiye. Only if you do my nindya, I will go to bekunt. Only if you slander me will I go to heaven. Naam padarth man hai basaiye, hriday suddh jo ninda hoye. Hamre kapre nindak toye. The slanderer is actually washing my clothes, and I'll tell you why. This is a very philosophical and interesting point, because Baba Kabir is saying that if you do my nindya, you are washing my clothes. What does that mean? It means that Baba Kabir is treating nindya like positive criticism. This for him is positive criticism. And we have to learn how to react to nindya. We could quite easily react and say, Jinnah ne nindya kiti, we're not going to leave anything of them. That's one way of reacting. But Baba Kabir is saying, I welcome nindya with open arms. Tell me what my mistakes are. Tell me what my shortcomings are. How am I going to improve if you do not tell me? That's what he means, that the nindak is washing my clothes. By doing his nindya, within that nindya, there might be something true about me, which I would otherwise have not realized. But hey Malik, thank you for presenting these nindaks in front of me, because they have washed my clothes, and all the kamiyan, all the shortcomings in my way of life have been cleansed out. They've washed my clothes. This is what our reaction to nindya and slandering should be. Whether it is happening at home, whether it is our relatives that are doing our nindya, whether it is at work, whether it is in our daily work, in the community perhaps, we should say whatever our shortcomings are, and this is what the Sikh channel has done, whatever our shortcomings are, whatever you do not like about the program, come and tell us. We will listen to you. And this is, Pyari Sad Sangat, what your attitude and my attitude should be. It is very difficult. Do not think for a moment that the nindak will ever be content. Guru Amar Das Sahib, our third master, a banker's son presented to him a necklace of pearls. A necklace of pearls. Guru Amar Das Sahib said, what am I going to do with this? This is no good to me. He gave it to Guru Ram Das Sahib. Guru Ram Das Sahib is saying, what am I going to do with this necklace of pearls? He put it away and he thought he'd give it to someone. He noticed one day that there was a nindak who used to sit outside the darbar of the Guru when he used to do the nindya of Guru Amar Das. He used to sit there, everyone used to walk through, he used to say, Pe Guru de kol na jayo. He is a pakhandi, he is fake, and so on and so forth. And Guru Ram Das was very upset by this. And then he thought, if I give this nindak the pearl necklace, he will stop. Perhaps he's aggrieved that he has made no money, he has not profited from the Guru's presence. So he gave him the necklace of pearls. For a few days this nindak vanished. Guru Amar Das Sahib asked, hey, Bhai Sahib, where is that necklace of pearls I gave you? Malik, I gave it to the nindak who was gracing your doorstep. Guru Amar Das Sahib said, do not feel for a moment that he is content. A nindak is never content. He will be back for more. And that is exactly what happened. A few days later, that nindak was back there again. Pyari Sad Sangat, with these words, we beg forgiveness. If there is one thing that you can take away from this katha, from these words that I have shared with you, it is ke he manuk, we need to learn, first of all, that those people that are doing positive seva in our community, we should be supporting them in any which way we can. If we can't support them, then as a bare minimum, let's just stay quiet. Let's not say anything. If there are people who are doing wrong, yes, we do need to raise that. I'm not saying we shouldn't raise that. And on the other side, if there are people slandering us, let's welcome them with open arms. Nindak hamre kapre toi. Come and tell us what our shortcomings are. We beg forgiveness, Pyari Sad Sangat. Mohan kar aabho, karo jo dariya. Mohan kare aava, karo jo dariya. Mohan kare aava, karo jo dariya. Man kara abman bala, man kara abman. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.